have a stress fracture. Should I take calcium? This feels like it would be a really, really easy yes. But there's actually some more nuance here, and we don't just want to throw spaghetti at the wall. We want to be really specific and tailored with our calcium intake. So let me show you how to figure out if you are getting enough from food. And if you're not, or you would find that really difficult, then what type of calcium we should take, how much we should take, and when you should take it. Because let's be really for real here. If calcium ain't there, this fracture isn't healing, period. Your bone is basically a giant matrix of calcium and some other minerals, but calcium is it. Calcium is her. Calcium is she. Now, depending on your age and gender, this is your recommended daily intake. And then let's look at this list of foods. Think of what you're eating often. Maybe not every day, but most days, at least a couple days per week. How much are you covering? Are we getting close to the recommended number, or do we have some major gaps here? Or if there's foods on this list that you don't eat often, but you really like, or you feel would be pretty easy to include most days, that is how we get closer to our recommended number through food. Ideally, we do that. We look at this list and we get it through food, and we get it that way. Life isn't that cut and dry and simple sometimes, and that's why supplements exist, so that through food and what we're going to take in a supplement, we can get what we need every day, and this fracture can start to heal, and you can finally get the F out of that walking boot or cast or whatever it is that is probably making showering really difficult and annoying right now. When you go to the supplement aisle, you'll see a bunch of different types of calcium. My recommendation is calcium carbonate. Calcium citrate is also fine. Now, again, you're going to get some calcium from your diet, so you don't have to look at that daily recommended intake and then just take that number. Probably 500 milligrams per day of calcium carbonate or calcium citrate will do it for you. And then still focus on getting some servings in from food. But we actually don't just want to go overboard on calcium, because getting too much in can impact magnesium, which is also a super important mineral for not only your bones, but basically every single function in your body. If you do choose to supplement, I recommend taking it with some form of vitamin D. 1,000 IU or 2,000 IU is likely fine. Try not to get into 5,000 or 10,000 IU without getting blood work from your doctor. But vitamin D is super important for the absorption of calcium into your system. So we want that available when we're taking our calcium. And we want to avoid things that are going to block that absorption of the calcium. Magnesium is one of those things. If you're taking a magnesium supplement, don't take it with your calcium supplement. Separate those at different meals of the day. Or if you really do struggle to get calcium in with your food, or magnesium in with your food, and you're trying to compensate for that by taking a multivitamin, the multivitamin probably contains both calcium and magnesium together, and other things that kind of interact with each other. So for this case, during this time when we're really focusing on healing that bone, we might want to separate the two out and get a little bit more tailored with that intake. Foods that can also interfere with your calcium absorption are things like wheat, spinach, rhubarb, sometimes beans, tea. Personally, I think the best thing to do if we're going to take calcium and vitamin D is find our snack habit of the day and make that snack most days tailored to that calcium and vitamin D, and have them all together. So for the vitamin D, we want a little bit of a fat source. For the calcium, we want to avoid some of those other foods I talked about. Maybe we're going to have like a cheese stick for our afternoon snack every day, and every time we take our cheese stick, we have our vitamin D and our calcium with it. Or maybe you like chips and guacamole as your snack, that would work. Or carrots and hummus, things like that. Very important thing to note here, if you have any sort of thyroid disorder, or you have anything that's impacting your gastric motility, so those waves that your intestines make to move things through your system, and you have maybe been experiencing multiple stress fractures, or if you suspect that you might have a thyroid disorder or something that's infecting the rate of your digestion, and you've been experiencing multiple stress fractures, then talk to your doctor about it, because both of those things will impact, or can likely impact, your ability to absorb calcium. So even if you are supplementing, you're not taking it into your body and being able to use it for your bones. There's also a really, really tight relationship with your bone health and how much you're eating, which I get into a little bit more in the video that I'll link in the show notes. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to the newsletter so that you never miss a tip to help with this recovery. Good luck. You got it.